Wait, recent studies by multiple medical and health organizations show a significant rise in sexual inactivity among millennial and Gen Z men. This trend has been dubbed the sex recession. News 4's An Yang is speaking to a psychiatrist to get his insight on this.
Psychiatrist Dr. Joshua Weiner joins us to talk about what's happening with this particular population. Thanks for joining us. Let's start by talking about what is this sex recession and why does it matter?
So the sex recession is just a term for exactly what you described. The Gen Z in particular and millennial men are just having less sex than prior generations when you look at their ages. So if you look at like the baby boomers or the Gen X's, when they were the ages of the Gen Z generation right now, they were having more sex. It seems like, depending on the study, the decrease in the amount of sex that these men are having is about 30 to 50%. So it's a pretty sizable amount. Now, there could be lots of reasons for this, obviously. It's sort of a proxy, I think, for what's going on in our culture and our society in general. We hear about this loneliness epidemic. Life has just changed in so many ways, especially since the smartphone came out and was mainstreamed in 2010. And perhaps this is just a greater manifestation of sort of the intimacy issue, people not spending as much time around each other, et cetera.
And so you talked about the smartphones. What role does social media and digital consumption have in the trend?
I think it's a big player. And I think the biggest issue here are a couple things. One is a lot of comparison, right? So you're looking online, you're comparing yourself to other people, and maybe that's leading to anxiety that you're having, and you're less likely to go out and engage in a relationship with somebody. The second thing I think we cannot ignore is pornography. Men are using pornography more and more. It's just so accessible now. So it's estimated that 75% of guys before the age of 18 have gone on porn. And about 50% of young men report using porn within the last month. It's clearly less anxiety provoking to just log on and watch porn or look at pornography now than it is to go out, try to meet a woman, to date, get into a relationship.
What about lifestyle or economic factors? Are there other things that are taking place here?
When it comes to lifestyle, we know that young people have to stay in their homes longer. They're living at home because of economic reasons. They can't afford their own place. Clearly, if you're living at your parents' house and you're in your early 20s or your mid 20s, late 20s, you're not going to be as comfortable having somebody over and having the opportunities for intimacy. So I think that's one issue. And I think that, economics are playing a big role in all of this. And so, we've got to recognize that there are multiple factors at play. Another thing that I would mention is just health issues, right? So people are just not as healthy as they used to be. They're more obese. We know that obesity is a contributing factor as well here. So when men have obesity, they have roughly 50% lower levels of testosterone. Their estrogen levels are much higher because actually fat tissue converts testosterone into estrogen. So we have health issues at play. We have social economic factors at play, lots of things here.
And bottom line, why does this matter? Why should we care?
So I think we just have to think about, this might seem like just one small issue, but it could be a bigger issue over time as we look at sort of the birth rates and how this is going to impact society as a whole.